Hello dear children, let us start atomic structure part 3. Before starting the video, let us do a quick recap. In the previous video, that is atomic structure part 2, we had discussed about discovery of neutrons, properties of neutrons, modern atomic model, Rutherford's atomic model, Bohr's atomic model, atomic number and mass number, and isotopes. In this video, our objective is to learn the following topics: electronic configuration, rules of the Bohr-Bury scheme, valence shell, valence electrons, valency, octet configuration, and valency of radicals. Children, at first let us learn some atomic terms one by one. Electronic configuration. The arrangement of electrons in different energy shells around the nucleus of an atom is called electronic configuration. Valence cell. The outermost shell is called valence shell. Valence electrons. The electrons present in the valence shell are called valence electrons. Valency. The number of hydrogen atoms that will combine or replace one atom of that hydrogen is called valency. Octet configuration. An element with 8 valence electron is said to possess an octet configuration. They are said to be stable. Electronic configuration. Children, we know very well that the arrangement of electrons in different energy shells around the nucleus of an atom is called electronic configuration. Okay, so this arrangement of electrons in different energy shells was given by Bohr-Bury scheme. Bohr-Bury scheme. Okay, so what was the rules of this Bohr-Bury scheme? Okay, so now we'll study the rules of Bohr-Bury scheme. First rule. Okay, the shells were given the names K, L, M and N. Okay, the names of the shells were given as K, L, M and N. For example, this is the nucleus. So this is the first shell, that is K. This is the second shell. Okay, L. This is third, M, and this is the fourth one. This is N. Okay, so for K, N is equal to 1. For L, N is equal to 2. For M shell, N is equal to 3. And for N shell, N is equal to 4. Okay, now second rule. Maximum number of electrons in the energy shell is given by the formula 2n square. Okay, maximum number of electrons in an energy shell is given by the formula 2n square. That means, for example, if K is equal to, for K shell, when N is equal to 1, then the maximum number of electrons that can accommodate in this shell is 2n square. That means 2, 1 square. That means 2. Similarly, for L, N is equal to 2. So that's why 2n square. That means 2, 2 square. That means 2 into 4. That is 8. For M, we know that here N is equal to 3. So 3 square. That is 18. Okay. Similarly for N, N is equal to 4. So 2n square. That means 2. 4 square. That means 4 4 is 16. 16 2 is 32. So the maximum number of electrons that can accommodate in K shell is 2. L shell, the number of electrons in L shell should be 8, not more than that. In case of M shell, the number of electrons that can accommodate is 18, and in case of N shell, 32 electrons. Okay. Now, what is the third rule? Energy fill up the shells in stepwise manner. Stepwise manner means electrons first fill up the inner shell, and then one by one they are occupying the next shell. Okay, first they will fill up the inner shell. First K cell, then N, then M, then N. Like this, fill up of electrons takes place. Okay, so electrons electrons fill up the shells in a stepwise manner. That means first in the inner shell completely, and then occupy the next shell. Okay, now the number of electrons which can accommodate in the valence shell, here the valence shell is N. Okay, that means the outermost shell is called as valence shell. So the number of electrons in the valence shell should be 8, and it should not be more than 8 electrons. Okay, so the outermost electrons, the outermost shell can contain only 8 electrons. It should not be more than that, 8 electrons. Okay, now let us understand this with the help of one example. So let us understand the concept of electronic configuration with the help of an example. Okay, so let us consider the atomic number of sodium atom. Okay, so what is the atomic number of sodium atom, children? Atomic number of sodium atom, it is 11. Okay, so the number of electrons present will be 11. So what is the electronic configuration? I am writing EC. EC means electronic configuration. So what is the electronic configuration of sodium atom? It is 2, 8, 1. So in K shell 2 electrons are present, in L shell 8 electrons are present, and in M shell 1 electron is present. So which is the outermost shell? Here M is the outermost shell. And what is the valence electron here? Here the valence electron is 1. Okay, valence electron is 1. So how can we represent this in the orbital structure? In the form of orbital structure. Okay, so this diagram are called as orbital structure. Okay, so now let us draw the diagram or draw the orbital structure of sodium atom. Children, here you can see very clearly I have drawn the shells, but this is wrong, because here before drawing the orbital structure you should not forget to draw the nucleus. Okay, you should not forget to draw the nucleus of sodium atom. Understand? So first you should draw the nucleus, then after that you can draw the energy shells or orbits. Okay, so now, so according to this we have written that the electronic configuration of sodium atom is 281. So in the first shell, according to the rule, we should start from the inner shell. So here 2 electrons are present in the first shell, then 8 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in the third shell 1 electron. Okay, as we know that in the outermost shell, that means the outermost shell should not contain more than 8 electrons. So here also we are having 1 electron, so it is not more than 8. Okay, now this is the first example. Let us consider another example. Okay, let us consider potassium atom. Potassium atoms. Children, what is the atomic number of potassium? 19. Okay, so what is the formula of potassium, children? K. Okay, the formula of potassium is K. So here also you can see while drawing the orbital structure, it is very much necessary to draw the nucleus of potassium. So now let us find out what should be the number of electrons in the potassium atom if the atomic number of potassium is 90. So here the number of electrons will be 19, because we know very well that atomic number is nothing but equal to number of electrons. Okay, now what is the electronic configuration of potassium? Electronic configuration of potassium atom, children, it is 2, 8, 8, 1. That means this is K, L, M, N. Okay, now you must be thinking that M shell can accommodate 18 electrons. Okay, we know that M shell can accommodate 18 electrons. So why can't we write like this? 2, 8, 9. Okay, we cannot write like this, children. This is the correct form and this is the wrong form. The reason is that we know in case of Bohr-Bury scheme, one rule is the outermost shell should not contain more than 8 electrons. So here this is the outermost shell and it is here only you can see that 9, that means it is more than 8 electrons. So this is wrong. You should write like this. Okay, this is the correct form of writing electronic configuration of potassium. Okay, so now let us draw the orbital structure. So this is the nucleus. You should not forget to draw this. After that, this is the first, this is the wrong form. Okay, so we should write this one. Okay, so in K shell we are having 2 electrons. Okay, in L shell we are having 8 electrons. Okay, in M again 8 electrons. And in case of N, we are having 1 electron. So total you see 10, 18, 19. So we are getting. Okay. So here what is the valence electron, children? 1. Here 1 is the valence electron of, that means the valence electron of potassium is 1. Okay. Valency of an element. Children, how can we find out the valency of an element? Okay. The number of valence electrons in an atom determines the valency. Okay, the number of valence electrons in an atom determines the valency. That means we can find out the valency by knowing the number of valence electrons. Okay, so here we need to follow certain rules, okay, in order to find the valency. If the number of valence electron is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, 1, 2 and or 3. If it is 1, 2 or 3. Then how can we find the valency? Here valency can be find out. Valency of the element can be find out by knowing the number of its valence electrons. By knowing the number of its valence electrons. For example, aluminium, what is the electronic configuration of aluminium, children? Aluminium, it is 2, 8, 3. Okay, so what is the valence electron of aluminium? 3. So it is coming under this rule, because it is told that it should have either 1, 2 or 3 electrons. So we are having here 3 as the valence electron of aluminium. So what should be the valency here? The valency is nothing but the number of its valence electron, that is 3. So valency of aluminium is 3. Okay, similarly, if the number of valence electron is 4, 5, 6 or 7. 4, 5, 6 or 7. So in that case, valency can be find out by this formula, that is valency is equal to 8 minus number of valence electron. Number of valence electron. That means let us consider one example, oxygen. So what is the electronic configuration of oxygen, children? 2, 6. That means it is coming under second rule, that is this rule. So how can we find the valency? Here valency can be find out by subtracting 6 from 8. Okay, so 8 minus 6, that is 2. So valency of oxygen is 2. Okay, similarly, third one, if the valence electron is equal to 8, so in that case, how to find the valency of the element? Children, if the valence electron is 8, that means they are having 8 electrons in the valence cell. That means they possess octet configuration, and they are considered to be stable. So in that case, valency will be equal to 0. Okay, valency will be equal to 0. So the element, those who are having valence electron, that means 8 electrons in the outermost shell, they are called as noble gases, and they are inert, that means they are not taking part, in a chemical reaction, Okay, this is all about the valency of an element. Now let us learn about valency. Children, what do you mean by valency? Actually, valency of an element is the combining capacity of its atoms with the atom of other elements. Okay, but the correct definition of valency is the number of hydrogen atoms that will combine or replace one atom of that element. Okay, so let us find valency of an element on the basis of hydrogen atom it can combine with. Okay, so here HCl. Here you can see that chlorine atom. Here you can see that very clearly that chlorine atom combines with one hydrogen atom. Okay, chlorine atom combines with one hydrogen atom. So valency of chlorine is 1. Similarly, oxygen atom combines with 2 hydrogen atoms. Okay, so valency of oxygen is 2. Here nitrogen atom combines with 3 hydrogen atoms. So valency of nitrogen is 3. Similarly, carbon atom combines with 4 hydrogen atoms. So valency of carbon is 4. So like this we can find the valency of an element. Now the next topic is valency of radicals. Children, what do you mean by radical? A radical is a group of atoms of elements that behaves like a single unit and shows a valency. Okay, let us understand this with the help of an example. Let us take NH4. This NH4 is behaving like a single unit having positive charge. Okay, having positive charge. So a radical may be positive radical or negative radical. So in this case it is positive radical. So what is the valency of this radical? The valency is 1. Similarly, OH minus. Here the valency of the radical is 1. Similarly, SO4 2 minus. Here the valency of the radical is 2. So this is ammonium radical, which is a positive radical having valency 1. This is hydroxide radical, which is a negative radical having valency 1. This is a sulfate radical, which is again a negative radical having valency 2. Okay, so valency of a radical in a compound can be found out by knowing the number of hydrogen atoms it combines with. So let us understand this with the help of some examples. H2SO4, sulfuric acid. Here you can see clearly that children, the sulfate radical is combining with 2 hydrogen atoms. So the valency of sulfate radical will be 2. Now second example is H2CO3. H2CO3 is nothing but your carbonic acid. Here the carbonate radical is combining with 2 hydrogen atoms. So the valency of carbonate radical is again 2. Third one, HNO3, that is nitric acid. Here the nitrate radical NO3, nitrate radical is combining with 1 hydrogen atom. So the valency of nitrate radical is 1. Similarly, the H3PO4, that is phosphoric acid. Here the phosphate radical is combining with how many hydrogen atoms? 3 hydrogen atoms. So valency of phosphate radical is 3. So like this we can find the valency of radical. Children, here you can see one table consisting of electronic configuration and valency of first 20 elements. So I'll suggest you to first go through this table and then write without seeing it. Okay.